Y'all, so much has happened in these past couple of days on Skitlanta with the ski trip. Well, they finally got things popping and going. So to everybody's story, we left off where Tamara basically was finding out about D and all that other stuff that was going on with Asia and Aja or however she pronounces her name. And they was basically doing like an introduction, getting a feel, letting everybody in on what was going on. And then they went on a little ski trip, had a fun, learning how to ski, getting all the romantic stuff out. Guys is basically doing their dances for their ladies. Then we had a whole competition between Pastor and D. Oh yeah, that was a good one, y'all. when Pastor and D was basically competing against for Tamara's love, because really Asia really invited herself to the whole ski trip and all. D really didn't invite her, but he was going up there for Tamara, and Tamara wasn't even going to come if it wasn't for the pastor convincing her, let's go on out there and have a good old time. So they end up going. So of course everybody's seeing who is with everybody, and lo and behold, to our surprise, Lawrence actually knows Aja, because that was his first love, basically the one he really kind of did all his experimenting with. So he had been with him. And of course, Erica putting on her little shady shade with her, because now she really don't care for Asia, D baby daddy, who she never met, right? And Asia and Tamara, they somewhat had a decent relationship, but now that Tamara's picking up on Asia, is kind of get back with D, she's feeling a little, I'm not feeling this, because I feel like he been playing in my face the whole time wanting my man. Basically that's how she feeling with Asia. And so they having their beef back and forth when it comes to D. But then sneaking behind Asia and Pastor sort of came up with a plan to try to keep them two apart from each other, because they can kind of see how they keep somehow finding their way back to each other at the cabin, especially after Pastor had sort of ran off that night when they was doing the dance and they started serenading, and D was pulling them in. Boy, talking about somebody was petty. D was petty on that whole freaking trip. You hear me? It was like everybody was with the wrong person. Aja was with D. Who that was? Tamara was with Pastor. DC was with Jigsaw, aka Squidward. Lawrence and Erica was together, so we got 4 couples, but neither one of the couples really need to be with the other with the person they came with. They really need to be with somebody else. Like this, it was just so much chaos. Like from here on out, y'all hear Erica planning a getaway vacation, exit yourself up out of that trip, because wherever she go or whatever she plans, I mean, it is always straight drama up in here with her. And she already knew that DC wanted to propose to Sarah, because he asked before, he had went on the trip. But the big thing with this DC and Sarah, they was, because they wasn't having relations, or they wasn't having the sexual part of their relationship, because after her supposedly miscarriage that she actually aborted the child, she was kind of trying not to have DC touch her, because she was going through her little thing where they were basically practicing celibacy, and because she really wanted him to marry her. And we all know how that worked out, where, he was really kind of having like second thoughts or whatever. And then they kept running into issue after issue. She was supposed to be his piece, and his piece was turning into a piece of a headache, right? Yeah. So that whole your piece thing, let me be your piece. That whole Shayla and Anthony crap spilling over to this. Well, make a long story short, they all go through their little issues. Erica wasn't sleeping with Lawrence on his before they started on this trip. But then after, skiing and being all romantic with him and stuff, and of course, Asia being his person and all, she had to make sure she had her body all up on that, because girl walked up in the kitchen that one night where all he did was just lift the girl up and put on the counter. But baby, she was talking about, she had her moose knuckles all up on, and where you was. I mean, she was so petty, not thinking about all the men that you done kiss D, or D done kissed you, however y'all want to act like it happened. DC is your baby daddy, right? Pastor about the only one you ain't being bumping and grinding with up inside there, right? And then Lawrence, you're going to eventually mess with him if y'all stay together, but it ended up happening. And man, let me tell you, when DC walked in on them that night when they was having a little special moment inside the kitchen with the strawberries, and they was getting ready to get it on that night, homeboy wanted to give her a taste of what it was gonna be like. So he had to put it. That was by the way, that was Erica wanting him to do that. Erica wanted him to put her up on the counter because he had put Aja up on the counter. But as he had put on the counter, of course he's trying to go down. DC is walking down the hallway, right? And he sees it. And I mean, if we was just the only thing we was missing on that scene was just him sliding down the wall. DC had backed up to that wall. He was like, oh my God. It was like his stomach was turning, and his heart was just shattering in all kind of places. Because truth be told, DC really wants Erica. And be honest, Erica want DC. They want their family to be together, but both of them are too freaking stubborn headed. Instead of him taking his time to heal, he ran off to Sarah, and mind you, Erica was going through her stuff. She sort of pushed him into her arms, but so this is back and forth thing with them, but they really want to be together. They have a daughter or whatnot, but now he's seeing that Erica is basically, let's get it on, with Lawrence all up in his face. Mind you, this is the second time he done caught this woman, bumping and grinding with somebody. He kind of know, because the first person was Wayne, and now it's the new guy. And we all know Lawrence. He ain't had none in 2 years since his wife had passed away, and he ain't really been letting nobody in. No real relationship, not really connecting with any other woman. So he been kind of not getting any for the past couple of years, so he all extra happy just to be up in there because he wasn't doing nothing, right? So they finally sealed the deal with the two of them, so they make out. Now Pastor ain't really being Pastor on this trip because he trying to bump and grind with Tamara, but of course D is throwing all kind of interference in between them. Although him and Aja done got it busy when they was eating those mushrooms that she accidentally got into, not realizing what it was. DC mushroom, he had the shrooms he had bought on this trip, right? So, but D is running all kind of interference with Tamara because he really do not want Pastor on him. And rightfully so, because Pastor, you stole his woman. You were supposed to be the man of God. You weren't supposed to be trying to take his woman. And we all know, however you get them, typically it's how you're going to lose them. And you're just going to have trust issues. So the whole time, Pastor is dealing with the fact that his woman, his lady, is now with that it's the same atmosphere as D, and so it's like a competition, even to the point where they almost got into it. You hear me? I mean, they almost got to, first it was like jokingly when they were skiing, then they almost got into it at the cabin. Tamara had to basically break them up because it was crazy, y'all. It was just so much foolishness going on between them two. The tensions was high, but he started picking up on how Tamara was really feeling towards D, and he was really starting to tick him off, right? Because here he thinking he finna spend time with his lady, and she's still being reminiscent with D and her, and she pretty much told D she really did care for him, but she was just hurt because one, she found out on this trip that her him and Erica done kiss with the help of Aja because she's Asia. She basically trying to cause confusion up in there, especially since you don't really care for Erica at this point because Erica is showing her all this shade. But really, Aja, who invited you? Nobody. You invited yourself. And that's what she would have just got put out because me being, if I was Erica, I paid for this. I didn't know you were gonna come here, honey. If you got this much of a problem with me, it's time for you to go. But of course, they can't let her go because they got to keep the stuff going. And baby, Aja, Pastor Lewis, D, they all was doing their own little thing. DC was pretty much holding on to the fact he was dealing with his feelings, trying to get everybody to talk him out of proposing to Sarah because he had bought her this ring and he wanted to propose to her on this trip. And he had already got the approval of Erica. So after seeing almost sliding down the wall, watching Erica, the love of his life, basically getting taken out to eat, but she ain't doing the eating Lawrence is, right? And just crazy, right? He was like, okay, I guess it's over. I'm gonna go ahead and propose. Well, had this beautiful layout. I mean, just drop dead, just delightful. Bought this girl this dress, had the roses, laid them on the bed, told her come out and put on a dress and meet him out in the living room. Had already talked to everybody else, so everybody know what's getting ready to happen. They go into the front so he could propose to Sarah on his knees. I mean, D basically like, man, did you forget the ring? When you forgot the ring? So he has to run back to the room to go get the ring. Dodo. I'm sure nerves playing on his part. But he really was throughout the whole trip trying to figure out a way not to go through it. So when he was looking for the ring, lo and behold, the discharge papers for Sarah had fell out, unbeknownst to Sarah, on the floor, and he picks them up and read them. And it's an abortion clinic from Sarah around the time where she supposedly had miscarried a baby. So he holds his composure, but as he's trying to hold his composure, I mean, it was real sentimental, y'all. When he walked out that room, everybody thinking he crying because he about to ask the lover, his new love to marry him. And so Aja, of course, Asia had to be the one to see it. Oh, he is crying. Like, look at him. Oh, sure, he crying, right? And he crying because this woman had killed his child and then lied about a miscarriage and never said anything to him. So he crying because he's thinking of I don't have my baby mama who I really love. I don't even have my child that she carried because she miscarried our child. I'm thinking this woman miscarried my child and she done aborted my child. And here I am about to propose to this liar, right? So this is what he's showing his emotion because he's getting pissed off. And y'all know how DC get when he get pissed off. He's still a West Side boy to the end, right? So he plays it off though. He goes in there and he continued to act like he was going to propose to her, and she and instead of pulling out a ring, he pulls out that discharge paper and say, well, when you was gonna tell me that you killed my child, okay? And that totally took it on a whole freaking other level far as where this was going. Of course, he done now embarrassed this girl. Everybody like, what? Like, oh my God, how could she do that? Like, I mean, the expression, the gas was like, everybody at the same time. Like, then Erica pop off because she like, I know good and well you ain't sit up here and kill his baby and had him mad at me about dragging me because he around here thinking that I caused you to lose your baby and Mary kicking you on your side made you lose your baby, and you around here having an abortion and you lying to everybody. I bet you this is what my daughter was trying to tell me. You're right, it was what your daughter was trying to tell you, but you couldn't shut up long enough to listen to what she was saying. So everybody putting two and two together about what is actually going on with DC and Sarah and how she was behaving and everything else. Lawrence agreeing, yeah, this probably is what's going on with Jada because he's thinking because he was there for all that, right? But he taking notice as how Erica is really going off on Sarah. So he like, you kind of invested a whole bunch in this, like. what's really going on with you to where, I mean, Erica and Sarah, baby, they was about to throw down. There about to be some hands up in there. Lawrence had to end up pulling her away, Erica away, and telling her, go to the room. I said, go to the room. I mean, very aggressive. Go to the room. Erica, like, who the heck you talking to? Huh? This woman right here, she was making me seem like I was a problem. And the whole time you around here lying, now Erica, the baby mama from Erica, done jumped up out of her because now you done not only you don't lie to my child, you lie to the man I care about, and Lawrence looking at all of this unfold before his eyes, and I'm thinking like at this point, Lawrence, it's just time to walk away, even though you got your little bit. Just let this girl go because she keeps showing you her heart is still with DC, right? Of course, Sarah keep walking on, but you caught. Like, I mean, even Dee tried to go back and talk to her as to why did you wait till now? You kept saying you wanted to tell him on a trip. Really, you want to tell him on a trip when all his friends are around that you basically killed his baby? He basically like, Sarah, get the H up out of here. Like you ain't even making no sense at this point. And DC walk in on her and be talking, and he like, I thought I told you to leave. Get out of here. But DC, do you remember you stayed in this woman's house, or did you get rid of? I mean, I know you had your own place at one point. Did you get rid of it? Or did you save it? Because I don't see how you're going to go back to her house. And that's basically what she was saying to Dee about. I was trying to save my family. She was like, look here, he ain't been with, I mean, that's kind of what the argument she was telling with Erica. He ain't even been with you 17 years and you couldn't even first get him to marry you. I'm not finna throw my whole life away from him, not knowing if he's going to be with me or not. And here I am pregnant with his child and he ain't acting like I don't know. I got to think about my family before I think about his. I mean, not sitting here realizing you're still in the wrong, Sarah. Yeah, you can have those feelings, but at least talk to the man so he can have a chance. He already done lost the baby that literally broke him up from the love of his life, basically, because they didn't know how to deal and talk with each other during that time. And now you pop up pregnant and you act like you're having a baby. Well, I ain't say I had no miscarriage. Yeah, but you implied that you did. And that's what you kind of just went on with. You ain't never necessarily say the words, I had a miscarriage, but you lost the baby. You didn't lose nothing. You killed the baby. Let's be real with it. Okay, let's just be absolutely real with what was going on. I mean, this cabin trip was a complete chaos, y'all. So much so I even did a poll and I was asking people their opinion on this thing because everybody, did you really think it was going to end the way that it did? Like, it was just so freaking crazy, y'all. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up on here. You go ahead and leave a message and tell me what you think about everything that has happened on this Country Wayne skit. Like, y'all. And if you haven't seen it, go over there and watch it as well. As always, be your brothers and your sisters. Keep God first. Toodle. Don't forget to hit that like and the subscribe button, y'all.